Good morning, good morning. Saw a very interesting comment last night before I went to bed. I'll address that comment, but I'm going to address it here. It's me crazy. That makes me want to just go ahead and bitch slap somebody. Is this presumption that you're going to lose before you even start. The comment was, they ain't gonna let me build nothing in Chinatown, and if I do, they ain't gonna buy from me. Now, this is my problem with the statement or the comment. The person has not built a business in Chinatown. The person has not tried to sell to Asian people. So the person doesn't know if that is true. But they assume that it's true, and that's all that's needed, because when you assume something is true without the benefit of rigorous intellectual analysis, it's true. Whether it's true or not, it's true. If it's true in your mind, it's true. And that's the reason I hate the mindset. That's the reason I'm doing the video, because essentially that person has decided in certain arenas that they've already lost before they even took their first shot. How the hell can you win with an attitude like that? How does that work out? How does that work out? To help those who are in need of an attitude adjustment, check out hustlerskungfu.com. I got a special going on, and it's only going on for 6 more days. And after that, it's gone. And help you improve your mindset, teach you how to make money, teach you how to think better, teach you how to manage your money better. You get everything, as they said in the Luke Skywalker song. You get everything that's on the site and everything that is coming with this special. 6 more days. And you can be in. Now let's get down to the mindset of losing before you even get started. There are many people who, for some reason or another, feel that they are going to lose in certain arenas. Now, in the book that I'm working on, I'm not going to give you the name, but one of the laws is find out for yourself. Do not listen to other people. Sometimes the counsel of other people is spot on. It's correct. They're telling you the right thing. But if you are rigorous enough to find out for yourself, you are going to discover other things that you did not know because you didn't go forward. So it's worth it, even if they're right, for you still to do your own self-discovery and not to rely on what other people are telling you. Because I'll give you an example. I was given some advice not to do a certain thing. And as I researched it, come to find out that the people who won were doing exactly what I was doing, because all you hear are the stories of the losers. You know, you'll hear a trunicated version of success from the winners, but you don't really hear the stories of the winners, because a lot of times when people win and they use certain methodology, they use certain techniques, they are not all up in the street going, this is how I do it, unless there's a price tag involved. So you have to buy the story of the winners. That's one of the things that has to happen. But do not allow yourself to say you're going to lose, that you cannot win, that you are not going to make it if you have not went out there and put your best foot forward. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And this is what people tend to do. They will go ahead and mentally lose before they put out the first hit, before they put the first line to the paper, before they hit that first note, before they go to the job interview, before they go into the sales presentation. They'll say jacked up shit like this. Well, I'm just going to do this for practice. Well, there's a really good chance that I won't win, but I'm going to try it anyway. That's loser speak. That is loser language. Just say, I'm going to go in here and give it my best shot, and I fully expect to win. Start telling yourself that. I'm going to go in here and give it my best shot, and I fully expect to win. That is a better way. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to win, but it means you're going to win way more than you will lose. And it's a big difference, because when I started redirecting my energy toward winning, when I left certain mindsets behind, when I refused to accept the tenets of some of my upbringing, because some of the tenets of my upbringing were really good, sound principles, but there was some fuckery in there, and there was some bullshit in there, and I just divorced myself from it. And I saw different results than other people that I know who are still imbued by that same pathology. They just can't do certain things. This is the thing, and I want you to really hear me, and I want you to hear me now. Start practicing success. Many people practice failure. You practice failure when you do something half-heartedly, when you don't really try, and then when the results are like, well, see, I tried and I didn't win. No, you half-ass tried. You did not go in there with full vigor. You did not go in there with a plan. And that's why you got the results. But hear me. If you have a plan and you have it in your head, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. Today's a great day. I'm going to win. You start telling yourself that, because everyone else, or many people, not everyone else, but many people are already against you. So why are you going to be complicit? And why are you going to tell yourself the same things that they are telling you? Why are you going to do that to yourself? Why are you going to be complicit with your failure in the hate camp that says you can't do that, you can't do that, you shouldn't do that, that's not for you? I mean, they got a little chant, and they're doing their little thing, and you have joined in. You are holding hands around the campfire going, we can't win, we can't win, we can't win. I fucking hate that attitude, because see, this is something else. And the comment was left on the Fuck White Supremacy video, and I got a question for people if they watch this video, because those folks don't comment on the business videos. They have no input on the business videos. There's nothing on the positive videos. Well, that was a positive video. There's no feedback. There's no commentary. There's no video responses for that. But on something like that, and I'm going to tell you why in just a second, why they do that. But I'm talking to them right now. Why don't you come over here and talk about these discussions and be vigorous and robust with your energy? You know why? Because having that conversation of I can't win or the system stacked against me, all of these things without the component of vigorous effort to combat that shit, because racism's real. Sexism is real. Discrimination is real. That's very, very real. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. But the thing is, it can't stop you. You can stop you by buying into it. That's like, I don't know if you guys know who Sergio Olivier is, but he was like one of the most proportioned bodybuilders ever. Extremely wide shoulders, extremely small waist. He and Arnold would battle. And they were on the stage doing their thing. And then Arnold was just like, man, let's just call this a draw. And Sergio was okay. And they just quit. And Sergio walked off the stage. And then the crowd started booing and shit. And then Arnold was like, hey, he left, I did. Then Arnold starts throwing poses and stuff, and he wins. Now, the thing is, Arnold is Arnold. he's a killer. Arnold's a killer. And now I'm not the Terminator. I mean, Arnold is a killer. And the thing is, he saw an opportunity and he took it. Now, Sergio thought it was over. And that's why he quit and walked off. And this is one of the things. You cannot quit until the final bell. You, like in the NFL, they teach the guys, if something happens, it looks like a fumble, you run to the end zone. Don't ever just, hey, if you got to come back, that's cool, but at least pick up the ball and go down there. You cannot quit until the whistle is blown, because until the whistle is blown, the game is in play. And there are many people who are not even suited up. They ain't even ready to quit when the whistle blown because they're not on the playing field. And that whole notion of, I can't do X, Y, Z because someone, who the fuck is they? They won't let me. They won't let me. They won't let me. You got that shit on autoplay in your head. They won't let me win. I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing. They won't let me win. You got that shit going on in your head like some sad ass song. And I talk harshly like this because I'm sick of seeing the attitude. I'm sick of seeing that people will allow the fictitious they to come in and steal their joy and to steal their thunder. It just doesn't make sense. Now, this is how you make money. You go out there and you prepare to win. You put it in your mind that you will win. You put it in your mind that I got this. And the first few times you won't have it. It's going to go sideways because you have to divest yourself of years or sometimes decades of negative thought processes that hold you back, that keep you in a certain spot in your life. This is one of the things that I think people don't seem to understand. What you think about is what you become. How you talk to yourself is what you shape yourself to be. And the negative, I can't, or this group, recently a tribe of Native Americans got $1 billion for the government. And I saw people, it's like, I'm happy for them. I look at it this way. If you got one level of energy, so you can direct that energy asking someone to do something for you, which works. Or you could direct that level of energy into doing something for yourself, which works faster. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, seriously, what are you going to do? How is this going to shape up? How is this going to pan out? Because there are so many people who are waiting on Superman. They're waiting on Spider-Man. They're waiting on the Avengers, the Incredible Hulk to come in, swoop up, save the day, kill the aliens, kill the monster, take the needle out of the Dr. Evil's hand. And it's not going to happen. It's not. So you got to go ahead and put your own cape on, develop your own superpowers, and go out and kick ass for you to win. That's what you have to do. But do not lose before you get started. Because this is one of the things that I know. This is one of the things that I'm really good on. I used to read Inc. magazine in high school. I was always curious about starting businesses because the people that I saw who had businesses were wealthy in my mind. Some were wealthy, some were not. I was a kid. But I wanted to be like that. That was something I wanted to claim. That's something I wanted to own. That's something that I wanted. I was like, I can do that. And I did it. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but many times. Damn. This is one of the most, and I'm not saying this for stubborn starseed. The fuckery in this comment, I'm going to read it to you because it just popped up and I was just like, I was silent because it blew my mind. The day that I heard that a teacher quit her job so she can twerk for a living was the day I decided to get my shit together. Woo! She quit her job to twerk? Damn. Wow. Yeah, strippers make more than teachers. I will tell you, years and years ago when I used to go to strip clubs, because I don't go. I think it's an improper allocation, or well, not a proper allocation of resources. I was at the Blue Flame, and if you're in Atlanta, you know what that is or where it is. And it was in the middle of the day, and I was there, and this girl, her name was Miss Lynn. And I was like, so what do you do when you ain't shaking your ass dust all over people? She's like, I'm a teacher. And I said, Miss Lynn? Woo! And she taught preschool, so the kids would not be walking around with chubbies. But I mean, we talked. She said she make as much in a few days as she made all month teaching. She said it allows me to get the finer things in life. She said it allowed me to buy a house. And I was just like, wow. Once again, don't hate the player. Don't hate the game. Learn the rules so you can win. But if you want to make money, you cannot put it in your mind that you can't make money. There are people who want to make money who hate money, who hate rich people, who hate okay, there's this movement. Capitalism's got to go. Really? Where the hell is it going? Capitalism is not leaving, and there are certain levels of capitalism. And this whole thing with the 1%, the preoccupation with the 1%, do you understand everything in life has levels? There is no 1% and everybody, if you make $330,000 a year, which I have friends, a lot of friends who make that, you're in the top 1% in the world in income, not just the United States, but the world. You have people in certain countries living on $500 a year, US, $500 a year. So there's a lot of different levels of the 1%. And everybody thinks, because really it's not even the 1%, it's the top 0.5% that's doing certain things because they have the billions on top of billions on top of billions. The entry level 1%, some of them are struggling just like you are because they don't manage their money right. $330,000 sounds like a lot, but when you lop out damn near 6 figures in taxes, then you went out and made some poor choices where you live and what you drive, and then you maxed out your credit cards. You're living paycheck to paycheck at $330,000 a year. There's a lot of people that do that shit. A lot. So when you are trying to win, you've got to think about winning in a manner of, I'll give you a great example. Great example. When I did the Hustler Kung Fu show, The Art of Making Money Online with Aaron Marino, it's the first one in season 2. And he said, even when I was broke, when I was on that golf cart, when I was doing that job to survive, I knew that I would be successful in the future. Now that's a winning attitude. Now he put numbers out. He does 7 figures now. This is a guy who started the business. It didn't work out. He had to file bankruptcy. He went through a hard period, and he's built himself up. He's reinvented himself, and he makes 7 figures a year doing what he loves. But the thing is, he did not let that setback, that rough period of his life, define him. There are some people who will have one failure, and that will become their life. They'll get the Al Bundy syndrome, except it's in the reverse. Because, the Al Bundy syndrome is, you remember Peg? Back in high school when I went out for the long bomb and I had 4 touchdowns in one game. The moment that game was over, Al Bundy was dead because that was the greatest thing he had ever done in his life. Well, many people take the other Al Bundy effect of disaster and they have this one thing, possibly a bad marriage, possibly some poor career choices, and they just say, this is me, this is what I'm going to do, I'm fucked up, I can't do no better, and they don't do anything else. And they just stay in that space. I mean, it gets to be crazy how people will allow one event to define them. Something that happens with a lot of men. They get divorced, have kids, and get fucked in the divorce process. And it's like, I'm not getting married again. I said it. I said it after it happened to me. I ended up homeless and shit over that. Homeless, living on the street, in the boarding house with crackheads because she was unhappy. Was I cheating? No. Was I unemployed? No, I had not one, not two, but 3 jobs at time. I just was a boring fucking dude. Straight up. I was just boring because I was tired from working all the time. That was the issue. I didn't do things like, you don't have hobbies. Well, if I wasn't working 2 and 3 jobs, I would have time for hobbies, but I don't because it's you and the kids. I gotta work. And she was unhappy now. Ha ha ha. She has never come close to what she had with me. My daughter told me that too, because I don't keep up with her. But my whole point is, you can't allow. I go through how bad it was for me, and I just kept looking up. I said, it's going to get better. I'm going to make it better. I'm going to do something in the future. You cannot allow those setbacks. You got to have like quarterback pick. You know, you got to have that quarterback pick mentality. You'll see a quarterback, he'll throw an interception, get out there next field, maybe, literally minutes later, 2-3 minutes later, back on the field, and they got to forget that shit happened. They get because you could see it when the quarterback would throw 3, 4, 5 interceptions. It's in his head that I throw interceptions. And all of a sudden, subconscious mind be like, okay, you want interceptions? We're going to dial up 2. You want some more? Here's 3. And then at the point, they have to pull them out because it's in their head and they can't get it out their head. And there's only X amount of time during that game to straighten shit out. And that's what happens. You see that. So you got to have that memory. I fuck up all the time. I mean, I do shit that some of my friends how the hell? And I was just like, I'm not as risk averse as you. That's essentially it. It's not even about being smarter or, sometimes it's not even smart. It's just I've learned that if you keep on keeping on, you can see beautiful things in your life. You can see amazing things in your life. You can see awesome things in your life. Crazy things in your life if you keep pushing forward and you do not develop the attitude that I'm not going to do this certain thing because I think I'm going to lose. So therefore, I'm not going to try. I have experienced so much success from trying, even when it looked really bad. Really, really bad. I like this, the 5-minute rule. Bitch and moan for 5 minutes and move on. Essentially, you got to, because I got people complaining about shit that happened a decade ago. You can't change that unless you get a time machine and go back and redo. And we know that you don't know anything about quantum physics, so your ass is not building a time machine, Mr. Janky. It's not happening. And it gets to be really, really crazy how many people are stuck on the past. And this is something else, going back to the comment that is the reason for this video, because I've never in my life had so many people argue with me why they couldn't be successful ever since I put that video up. I can't believe it. I'm just it was just really just 2 comments that just burnt my buttons. It's just we got to stop thinking like this. We got to stop acting like this. So I put my point out there, and I have people after be like, I can't be successful because of white supremacy. White supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy. I mean, you got that song in your head, it's on a loop. And you can be successful. But one of the things is, do not put in your head that you're going to lose. Just say, you know what? I'm going to do my best. I'm going to put my best foot forward, and I'm going to learn, and I'm going to keep pushing on. Because see, this is the thing. Once again, going back to football, when you know that, it's a minute and 34 seconds left, they're up by a field goal, you're on the 35, it's 3rd and 2. Well, yeah, it's 2nd and 5. You know that's 4 down territory. So that 3rd down is not as critical as that 4th down. So, okay, if we get 2-3 yards, we good. Or maybe we get it all. You got to start thinking like that. It's I can win. I can do it. I can make it happen. I can push. I can. You got to. Because that whole thing, and the reason it burnt my buttons and the reason I'm doing this video is, as someone who had a physical business, because the thing is start an internet business, and it goes well, there'll always be physical businesses. No, not. This is what's going to happen in the future. Only the wealthy are going to have malls, or the malls are only going to be in wealthy neighborhoods. You already see that trend. A bunch of malls around the country are closing, so the malls are gone, and you're going to have a lot of people like me. I don't really go to the store. I'm an Amazon dude. I've ordered groceries. It's just I go to, well, shit, I'm lying. My girl goes to the store. I went out and bought some shoes last night because I needed them for Friday, and also there will be things like that because I'll just tell you a story. I bought 2 pair of shoes, right, and I wear a size 12 or 12 and a half or 13, depending upon how the shoe fits, because you never know how it's sized. So I come out with some 12s, which are straight, feel good. Then I buy these boots I never bought before, and I put on the 12, and they big as hell. Then I go ahead and put on 11 and a half. Perfect. Fits the way it's supposed to. So you're going to still have retail like that, but it's not going to be ubiquitous like it is now. If you live in a well-to-do neighborhood, yeah, you see malls and stores all over the place. That will continue. If you live in a not so well-to-do neighborhood, you're going to see, or there'll be malls and strip malls way the fuck out. You'll have that. But as someone who has built a store in a predominantly Hispanic community, and the Jesus and Diaz and Reyes and all those motherfuckers bought from me, and they knew I was black and they were Hispanic. And also I had a bunch of Indian customers who bought from me because I gave them that you get a good deal. I gave them that great deal. I mean, and that's what I have people telling me, they're not going to buy from you. They're not going to buy from you. And I'm like, well, they bought from me. Why won't they buy from you? This was long before I became an internet dude, and I'm 100% internet. They were buying from me. Asian, Indian, Brazilian. They bought. They came. My partner was black. I was black. They saw us. They bought from us. They knew we owned the place. So if you are black, I'm talking to you and you're young, because I think a lot of these older motherfuckers, there ain't shit you can do with them because they are just decided that they're going to fucking tap the fuck out in life. They're not going to do anymore. They can't do anymore. Racism is holding me down. Fuck them. But if you're young and you're black, let me tell you, if you put out a good product, once again, good product, not excellent, not the best, good, people will buy from you. I know this. I put out a book that was an editorial fuck up. People still bought the other versions. People still bought books after that. Because you're here, well, if your book's fucked up, no one's ever going to buy another one again. If your book's content is good enough, now if the content sucks, yeah, you got a problem. But if your content's great and the other stuff is lacking, but they can get through it and get what they need, they're going to buy it. I'm living proof. I built this YouTube channel on fuck-ups. Fucking up. One of my best videos for a long time was how I lost $1,000 on the unit. That is a fuck up. That is a mistake. Matter of fact, let me find it because I am sick and tired of people saying you can't win. If you make a mistake, you're going to be punished more harshly. If that's your reality, if you put that in your head, if you let that circulate, and that is how you get down, and that's how you believe yourself to be, that's all you can do. If that's what you believe, if you accept that, if you've assigned that I ain't gonna be in my life, so I might as well not work that hard. If that's what you've already decided for yourself, I can't help you. I can't give you anything. I can't bring you anything. I can't bring anything to the table. I can give you nothing. I have Nathan, as Biggie said. You get Nathan. But if you're young, ambitious, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, or you got a fro, or you rocking your tattoos, if you put it in your head right now that you can win, that you can build a business, that people will buy from you, regardless of your color, your sexual orientation, your gender, you will have people buying from you. I'm going to tell you about some of my business partners. When we were closing down the Stone Mountain store, because I hated that shit, I found a consignment store that was owned by a guy named Stu. Now, Stu was clearly homosexual. There was no, you'd be like, well, I don't want to say anything. He was a homosexual, and he was a proud homosexual. I did business with him. Was walking around the store and like shit. You know, he had a partner. I was walking around the store like shit, like I own the place. This is the thing. Business will open up different things for you that you will not experience. Let's hit that. Come on, let's get out of there. This is the video. The worst storage unit I ever bought. Lost a G. $800 on the unit, $200 to throw that shit away. Do you understand how bad that was? And I think that me trying to play that video made the screen freeze. Well, we'll get out of that and see what happens. Yeah, I'm frozen, but I'm going to keep talking because essentially it will straighten out. It was just straighten out. But like I said, I bought this unit and completely fucked up. I wrote this book and made a lot of mistakes and continue to be successful in spite of the mistakes. I like this. I have older white employees. They're cool. From Jara the Riot. I have older white employees who are cool. Let me tell you something. One of the most powerful things you can do is put yourself in the position to be able to give somebody a job. That's one of the most powerful positions that anybody in society can have. That you can say, I have a position for you if you have the qualifications. Powerful shit. Very powerful shit. And you have a lot of people who are, no, I'm not going to do that. Jariah the Riot, thank you for that comment. I have older white employees that are cool. If you have a job and someone doesn't have a job and your job and their qualifications merge, and that means that they're going to go from not having money to having money, they will work for you. They will work for you. They're not like, shit, they're black. That money is green. No, I know I'm about to get evicted. I don't have money for. Fuck no, they're gonna work. I have an experience where someone I know was a racist. I talked about it in a previous video. She sent me her resume when she found out I had my own business. I'm telling you. So for you younger folks, do not listen to these old fuckers. They have given the fuck up. They feel that they can't do anymore. Every time they want to have a conversation about racism, they're going to go back to the 1800s and the 1900s and talk about two towns, Rosewood and a place in Florida or Black Wall Street. And they're just going to keep talking about this stuff. I don't want you to talk about it. I want you to read up on it, get that history, learn from it, and build your shit. There's some of you, I'm glad to say, will never have a job. You're going to start businesses straight out of high school, right out of college. And understand that your parents and your grandparents, they can't help you on that journey because they're scared as fuck. Yes, I said that. They can't help you on that journey. You're going to have to do it alone. You're going to have to teach your parents and grandparents some shit that they need to learn. You will be their instructor because they're going to be like, no, I can't do that. No, I can't do it. White supremacy. Then you're going to roll up and you're going to have the wife, the kiddos, and you're going to roll up in a nice vehicle. And then when they come over, they're going to come over to that nice house you have that you bought with your business money. And they're going to be like, maybe I was wrong. They won't tell you. They're not going to tell you, but they're going to think it. They're going to think it. Trust me on that. I've seen that. And it gets to be crazy what you can do when you properly orientate your mental set. You set your mind on success. You don't set your mind on fuckery. You don't set your mind on losing. You set your mind on success. So for you younger folks, the future is going to be bright for you. You've got a lot of stuff to do because don't listen to them. I'm 48 years old. There's a lot of people who thought me starting this YouTube channel was fuckery. They thought it was funny. They didn't think it was going to go anywhere. They didn't think any of this stuff was going to amount to anything. I've gotten amazing consulting offers because of this YouTube channel. I got not one, but 2 book deals that I turned down because I was doing better on my own. I got international exposure, international clients. It's helped me build this life where I am right now at home talking to you. I don't have to fuck with traffic. I don't have to deal with crowds. I pretty much do what the fuck I want to do most days because of this YouTube channel, which was for kids. See, I didn't listen to them. You don't listen. If they are not where you want to be and they're not living that life that you want, they can't help you get there. They can't. If they knew, they would be living differently. They can't help get that out your head. Just because they're older than you, it don't mean shit. It means nothing. There's a bunch of 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old immature motherfuckers on the planet who think they're grown, but act and live and breathe like children. If you're 30-some years old, 40-some years old, 50-some years old, and you still living with your parents, and you have the ability to move out, but because you like that cake, you like living easy because you don't want to take the full brunt of adult responsibility, you have effectively put yourself in the position of a child. That's what you are, and you'll be treated like that by society. You will be. So don't listen to them. Don't fucking listen to them. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. A lot of them miss this internet shit. Well, because see, this is something else. And I saw this years ago in the newspaper. It's like black folks have been misled. We out getting education. They're building businesses. I couldn't agree with that statement more. You got folks around here with their master's degree, PhD, and fucking cannot finance a stick of gum. Yes, they're, for the folks who are going to come in with, hey, my degree was worth it. Well, if you are homeless, the thing is, if you're living with someone and your name is not on the mortgage and the name is not on the lease, you are homeless. You're homeless. You got all this education and you just for some reason have this prolonged period of financial dismal distress. Think about that. Let's see what we got over here. Jarrah Derut, you gave me the motivation. Oh, this must be a new business. And Louis the Seller, I've overcome a lot of those loser mentality my parents raised me with. They had this old-fashioned Latin mentality. You're going to fail. That's not going to work. Don't trust that black guy. Oh, let's something else. For you dudes, stop watching my shit with your girl. Okay, most women don't get me. Most. They're going to like, why are you listening to him? He's annoying. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Let me tell you what's really going on. Let me fill you on. Let me give you the 911. Okay. Some of you are with women that you will not be with this time next year. And these women know this. And anything that's going to hasten your departure out of their life is a threat. It's a threat. I am a threat to her relationship with you because I'm talking about being successful. And Les Brown, I heard this recently, and I'm gonna keep repeating it. Said this: if you got some money, she gonna find something cute on you. The minute that you start to become more successful and make more money, you got more female options. So next time you want to watch this and bring your girl in and your relationship ain't solid and you know it ain't solid and she knows it ain't solid, don't watch because you're going to have another problem. Why are you listening to him? Don't give him any money. Don't buy his courses. He don't know what the fuck he talking about. What she's saying is, I'm afraid of you being successful because you will leave my ass. Yeah, I'm looking. Because that's going to happen. I'm telling you, there's a bunch of you guys right now who are with women you're not going to be with this time next year. You are unhappy. You can't wait to get the fuck out, but it's comfortable, or maybe you need her financially, or y'all got a house together. Oh, yeah. Stop buying houses with people you ain't married to. Stop doing that shit. That mortgage is you have a financial marriage, whether you want to realize it or not. Stop buying houses with folks you ain't married to. Unless you really sure that you and her gonna make it, or y'all can sell that house peacefully, because that's I've seen a lot of people have their credit ruined for just doing that shit. I mean, even if you get married, it's no guarantee that it's gonna work out, but it's not gonna be as whack. Trust me on that. You just can't. You cannot watch my shit with your girl, because see, this is the thing. Right now, we're in a really crazy spot with women's rights, men's rights, a lot of crazy stuff. But there are many, many people who once they get, like I got this course right here. I will show you. Where is it? Where is disruptive dating? Disruptive mating. I talk about this stuff. When you get some money, I don't care if you're fat. I don't care if you have one eye halfway closed. There's some woman that's going to find something cute about you. Not every woman, maybe not the exact woman you want, but your options will be out the ass. So you're sitting there doing average shit with your average girl, and she's seeing that your eyes are shining like diamonds, and you getting this message, and all of a sudden, you're working harder than you used to work. You're doing stuff. You're getting up, you're working out, you're making a little bit more money, you're full of excited energy and enthusiasm, you're excited and shit, but she's not happy. She's starting fights and shit. She is trying to knock you off your path, player, because she knows that if you get on your path, once you start looking around like that old Eddie Murphy skit, because when you met her, you thought that she was like, Ritz crackers. But then, you like, this is just a regular saltine. She knows that she's a saltine. She knows, but you don't know it. And she knows that you don't know it. And she doesn't want you to wake up and realize. I'll give you a great example. I was with someone who didn't understand. And I will admit that the internet lifestyle does fuck with a lot of people because there's a lot of jealousy there. She kept trying to get me back into the matrix. Like, why don't you go do this part-time job? I don't need a part-time job. See, and this thing is, I never told her how much I made. She had no clue how much money I made. I mean, truth be told, at the time, I made 4 times what she was making. Actually, shit, more than that. But I didn't live that life. I wasn't riding around in some crazy, I had a nice vehicle. I lived at the time, I didn't live in a nice place. I was actually helping my partner and helping her out with a lot of stuff. Because as the chemo and shit got deeper, it was like she lost sensation in her hands. It was just a lot of shit she couldn't do. So I was living with her. And I think that was part of it because she just kept doing it. She was always curious about that. And I'm going to say something to family, to the aspects of family. Anybody that has your back and doesn't ever become disloyal, that is always there for you, even if you fight, but they're always there. They're always there. That's your family. That's your family. Just because you related to some people because of his last name and some blood, those motherfuckers will fuck you harder, quicker, and faster than anyone else on this planet. You get to pick your adult family. Your family as a child, yeah, you stuck. But your adult family, you get to pick and choose wisely. And my business partner, that's my family. That was my family. And, her family saw it. I mean, at the funeral, they were just like, her brothers from out of town, they came up and talked to me. And they was just like, man, we really appreciate what you did. Because she was family. And it was dating this person who couldn't understand that. Because, see, many people have these percepts that because you have the same last name that you must put up with the bullshit and the fuckery of your family. I don't agree with that, and I didn't. I saw that my family was dysfunctional as fuck. The one side, my mother had issues, and I kept a wall. I'll tell you some stuff. Like when I almost died, 2010, bled out and stuff, I didn't tell her. She found out shortly before she died. She didn't know. I said, there's no point in telling you. You never had my back. That's just reality. And you got to get to that point. And I think one of the greatest things that you could do for yourself is to somehow get to a point where you don't need parental approval on anything. You can love them, you can be there for them. And actually, when you don't need parental improvement, you don't need your parents' approval, they will respect you more if you're doing good shit. They really will. What we got here? Helen Thompson. Well, I watch all your videos and I'm a woman, new business owner. Helen Thompson, you are a rare jewel in the sea of women because I see, all right, let me tell you why I said that. I've gotten that comment for the last 7 years. I was watching your video with my girl. She said something. She said you're annoying. Said your eyes move all over the place. All of this bullshit to knock these dudes off their game. If I do this, but I give you some advice that you take and go out and make $150 because my eyes are doing this, that invalidates that $150 to knock you off your game. Because All right, I'm proven. I've got a lot of people that I've helped start a business. That's fact. I got the letters. They're in groups, and some of them might be, come in on this and say, yeah, I'm one of them. So what I say works. Now let's take that, because when you replace, and also you're not paying her much attention, because when you're out there hustling, you're pushing hard, you're in your stuff, you're in your shit, you're working, you're making it do what it do. You don't have as much time for her as you used to. That's a problem. So less time, and then once you wake up and realize you got more options, she may be expendable. That's why, because I want you to think about this. Just ask yourself this. You are trying to make yourself better, right? Why would your girl have a problem with that? Now, if your girl is all on board and she loves what you're doing, she's loving the results, she's like, yeah, damn, that works out. And I've had some dudes who do watch this with their girls and wives, and the girls totally get it. The wives totally get it. And I don't get that stuff, but I get that comments like, yeah, my girl said this. I had a dude in the group. And the thing is, I've had, I don't know how many face groups, but I've only banned or gotten rid of maybe 3 or 4 people. He was one of them. He was in there like, well, my wife said, do not ever come to me in a comment or a post with my wife said. What the fuck do you say? Because my wife said, and he was always saying that shit because she's the one that made the cheddar. Hello? I believe that he was financially a eunuch, financially castrated, I think, because that's what my wife said, because she had the benefits, she had the money. And some other stuff. So, we got into it, and I actually kicked his ass out the group and put up a post. It's like, hey, if you don't agree with the precepts and principles of this, leave now. Leave now. Because, see, this is the thing. I work hard. I don't coast. This shit didn't happen by coasting or hoping and wishing. It happened because of applied effort. So, when one person leaves, every day I get 50 to 80 new ones. 50 to 80 new people come to the channel, join the group. 50 to 80 people every day, 365 days a year. And that number is going to go up. So I'm not worried about losing one stupid ass motherfucker. Get the fuck on, kiss my ass, and enjoy your life the best way you can. Find you another mentor. I don't care, because that's the salesman in me. One of my sales mentors, he told me this. He said, your pipeline needs to be so full that you're damn insane trying to manage it. He said, at that point, you consistently make money. He was 100% right. If your pipeline is half full, you could be running into a rough patch. This summer, while, people were going on vacation and stuff, I was building hustlerskungfu.com, working my ass off, damn near lost my assistant. That's why she had to go on vacation, because she was like, look, I need a break. That's why we're no longer working weekends, because she's good and I don't want to lose her. So okay, all right. That's how hard we were going. And you gotta understand. You gotta understand. So don't watch this shit with your girl if your relationship is not solid. If your relationship ain't solid and she sees that you're those diamonds in your eyes because you're shining, because you're activated, you're motivated, you're doing stuff you never did before. Just like the dude who keeps his chick fat, because he knows that once she loses that weight, she's gonna go from a 4 to a 12. Girl, why do you have these cookies in here? Well, I was at the store and I know you like them. I'm working out trying to lose weight. Baby, you fine the way you are. Here's a cookie. Try to keep your ass fat, because he know he would have to compete with your fine ass. I got a friend that did that shit, and I said, dude, you're dirty. You're fucking dirty. It's not good for her. It's just because she's a real cute girl and she slim up. Woo! He might be in a world of trouble, because he's going to have to compete at a higher level, because what's going to come at her is going to make her realize her sexual marketplace value, and he keeping her fat. He keeping her fat. That's fucked up, but he's keeping her fat. I'm just saying, if you go ahead and you watch this with your girl, whoo, could be interesting. Louis is up early. I'm married to a woman for 25 years. She makes $100,000. I don't earn that much yet. She reminds me every chance she gets. Damn! I'm amazed at how many people concentrate on a message that's delivered but don't concentrate on the actual message. Truer words have never been said. Oh, I got people who, like I said, who are fighting with me why they can't be successful. And I mean, not just a casual comment. They have rooted. They're up at night. They're just like, that Glendon Cameron, motherfucker. That's what it is. That's how bad it is. And I was talking to Aaron Clary during the last, and he started saying he gets death threats. And he asked me, he's like, you don't? I said, no, not yet. And I know I've pissed off a lot of people, but who knows what the future holds. All right, so for those of you who are still here, we're going to jump off into some things that I've not talked about with hustlerskungfu.com. Now, this is, we have 6 days left before the bundle, and I'm going to tell you, I purposely have held back creating new courses because I have 2 platforms. There were people getting confused. But I'm going to start a new course the first week of October. Then everyone that, because I don't know if I'm going to do it in hustlerskungfu.com or I'm going to do it in the Hustler Mindset Project. But everybody that's in the platform is going to get an amazing discount. An amazing discount for that course because there's a few I've got to pick from and some of them are going to be long. But hey, and I'm also going to finish up Project YouTube. Because the thing is, I had some people say, hey, when there's going to be some more classes, because essentially YouTube is not a fast burn. You cannot 30 days to YouTube money. No. You're looking at, if you start your YouTube channel, say May, you're looking at next May before it really gets nice, which is much faster than it used to be, which is totally much faster than it used to be. So more stuff is coming. It's going to get better. I'm going to revise some stuff. But this course right here, 30 Days to 2,500, it's the monster course. It's quirky, it's quick, but it will get you where you need to be. Then I'm not going to say what's coming next, but there's some options. There's some definite options. But if you want to get into it, first link below the video. And once the video renders, there will be an eye and annotations. But you want to get in the next 6 days. So with that, I want to say thanks to all the people who came out, for all the folks who commented, some really good comments, because I love this. I have older white employees. They're cool. Dude, that's life, man. That's life. And to Helen Thompson, keep watching, and thanks for understanding. And Louie, get your ass some money. And I will see you good people later.